Hey y'all. Okay. Hello. Hello. Back for Thursday Book Club. It's Eddard
Oops.
13. I believe it's
It's
chapter 46 in the book and chapter
Are we on?
47. Yeah, on the audiobook. I think.
Oh, not yet. Okay. Yes, we are.
I'm pretty sure. But anyway, so that's what we're going to be talking about tonight. And it's really interesting because, yeah, we did just come off of an Eddard chapter. It's two in a row. Um, but first, lovely Moni is going to tell us. She is a teacher's, can I say, Moni? You say. Moni, one of her hardest work days was today. She's going to tell us a little bit about her day was.
Oh my gosh, I was moving tons of furniture today, and it was I put in. I didn't get off of work. What time did I call you, Jen? 7:30.
Yeah.
So it was like from I
Are
get it.
you watching the chat on your phone?
Yep.
Turn your volume down.
Yeah, I was
It's cool. I do it all the time.
I was there from 8 to 7:30. So it was a long day, and that was the first day they redid our summer, and so we had to empty out everything and pack. And then we didn't get any new furniture, so we had to scavenge for furniture. Now they said we might get some new furniture in a couple of weeks, but we've got like over 100 boxes to unpack still, and the kids will be there on Tuesday, so it's insane. So hello to all y'all in the chat. I did get to listen to this once, but I'm familiar with it. Good notes. So it was a little bit of a sad chapter, but yeah, and I'm just tired. So I'm gonna drink an Angry Orchard because I'm angry. I'm angry that my kids are getting the shaft, that we didn't get new stuff, and now they say we're gonna get new stuff, and I'm gonna have, so I didn't get paid except for my 6.75 hours, and I'm not gonna get paid when I go in over the weekend to get it ready because, like it or not, kids are coming in on Tuesday, so we got to do it. So, cheer everybody, and here's to having a good year, school year that is. So, and back to you, Jen. I gotta find my little peeing prince so I can open my bar. Where is he? I love him. I got him in Belgium. He's my favorite. About the peeing prince, but he's the best. Oh no, I can't hear you, Jennifer.
I was muted. I'm sorry. Yeah. Back in my school days, this would have been the beginning of the year for me as well because, just when you go back to school every year, that's the beginning of the year for you, pretty much.
Yes.
I'm having trouble
I
picking up the
think
chat.
I think after this year we probably will start before Labor Day, but there was a law passed a few years ago that the schools couldn't start till after Labor Day. So that's what we've been doing, but it's a pain. Okay. So we're gonna go back, I think, because it goes for, we go into past the middle of June, so that's kind of drag. So I think maybe next year, if I'm still working there, that is. Like, yeah, I could meet some bazillionaire who takes me away on his yacht and mansion, right? Just like Elmer Fudd.
Speaking of yachts, though, really, did anybody else see Adrift? I doubt I streamed. I streamed.
You can strum if you want to. All right,
I streamed that movie, okay, and it's supposed to be a true story. It was also about they were lost at sea, but I don't know. So what we were talking about something to do with something like that.
I don't ever want to be. No way. That's a horrible thing. I think
she lives in the movie.
I don't care. No.
But the whole time they're like, he's alive too. But I don't want to spoil the movie for anybody. But yeah, I did watch that. But let's get to the chapter. I'll do the overview and
hello, buddy. In the chat.
Yeah. Hey, dog. Bubba Husky, Mega Super Lionheart, David. Hey.
Yay! Glad you guys could make it. Welcome back.
Nancy, Chrissy. Hey, Sami, just message me under Jennifer Wolverton, please, and I will give you your Amazon gift card. So you don't know how many times I've my son ordered peanut butter with that, but I control myself. Hey, Stacy.
Peanut butter.
There's this peanut butter I like that they don't really sell around here. And if I went to the city, I know.
That's awesome, dude. I love peanut butter.
I know, I do too. Okay.
I never heard of that. So anyways.
Yeah. So I'll order it from Amazon. One of the things I'll order from Amazon. All right. So beginning the chapter, Eddard is having a dream. It doesn't specifically say fever dream, but one could assume that because this after his leg is shattered and everything else. And he is walking beneath the crypts of Winterfell as he has done 1,000 times before. The kings of winter watch him with ice in their eyes, and the direwolves at their feet snarl. Lyanna's statue wore a garland of blue roses, and her eyes wept blood. Promise me, Ned. Eddard jerked up, his blankets tangled around him. The room was black as pitch. Lord Eddard, a moment. Groggy and naked, he stumbles to the door. So this is right when King Robert, has been boar hunting, and Eddard knew that he was going boar hunting, but word had already been sent ahead that he had been grievously injured during this hunt, and he had been waiting on him to get back. And
now we know that he sleeps naked.
Yeah, we do know that now. So.
Well, I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay. So, he's been summoned to go see Robert, and he saw Tomard and Cain with the king's steward who had said, you got to come, and they helped him get dressed. And it points this out several times that he carried with him a Valyrian steel dagger. The royal apartments are in Magar's Holdfast, a massive square fortress in the Red Keep. Magar's Holdfast, 12 feet thick walls, a dry moat. Sir Boris Blunt guarded the far end of the bridge. Within, Ned passed 2 more white cloaks. 3 men in white cloaks, he thought, remembering, and got a chill. Preston Greenfield, bottom of the steps, and Barristan Selmy at the king's door. So, yeah. So that made him think of the other time he run up on 3 King's Guard in a bad situation. I guess it would. Okay. Ned only had to look at Barristan to know something was wrong. Selmy's face was as white as his armor. Okay, all the King's Guard have white armor. And then we know he's going to go, as readers, we know that he's going to go over to Daenerys over in the Free Cities. And there's going to be a sickness that's basically, I believe, typhoid or cholera or something like that. It's like a bacteria in the water. The water's bad. You get diarrhea. And you really die of probably dehydration. They call it the bloody flux. It's been called many things. I wonder if that's not foreshadowing for him to get the pale mare or the sickness. That right there, that Selmy's face was as white as his armor.
Maybe.
Maybe. I hadn't read those sample chapters in a while. Just
I
saying.
was just thinking when you said that maybe it was do you think that it's so their armor's enameled?
I mean, I guess it is some kind of way. I mean, we get throughout the story several times we get, people's armor being very decorative or whatever. So yeah, I think it looks white.
Cool. Sweet.
The Kingsguard armor. But remember, it said it even earlier. It said all the Kingsguard armor is white, but Jaime Lannister still wore that gold. I think somebody points that out. I don't remember who. But Jaime doesn't wear the Kingsguard armor, even though it's super nice. He has some nice. There's another character points it out.
Even when he was younger, with King Aerys.
I don't know about that. I'm just
I don't think so.
In the present state, yeah, probably. No, he doesn't. Especially when he's Lord Commander and all that, he wears. Somebody notes he wears different armor than them, I believe. So,
right.
But yeah, the Kingsguard armor is white plate, basically plated white. I don't know. It's complete makeup, but yeah, it looks whitish. I think. I'm pretty sure. Best guess. Put money on it.
Well, okay. I'm just thinking like most metal wouldn't. I mean, it'd have to be enamel. I would guess, but
I mean, I don't know. It's laid on there some kind of way to, however they can decorate it. However they can do that.
Right on.
I guess.
That would be my guess, because just like white gold would be too soft.
Yeah, exactly. Gold is soft, period, as well. Also, you ever have a gold chain? Like I had a herringbone chain that used to get kinked up. It's hard to even find those anymore because people complain about them. They mess up so easily that they're not real common. Everybody's going with that kind of ropey looking style. I don't know. Well, now we're talking about chains. But so he gets over there to Maegor's Holdfast, which is where apparently the king, queen's apartments are. And he's announced again by footmen or whatever. And Robert's just like, bring him here. Right. And he thought to himself, Robert's voice is strangely thick. I think that's because he's medicated. And in a lot of freaking, he probably bit himself when he got gashed up. He might have bit his tongue when he got gashed open by the boar's husk. He might have.
I think he's just dying. It's like, oh.
I got a wreck one time and I bit through here. I'm doing that. Like when I was like, oh shit, like this is fixing to get, I knew already. I was like, it was fine though. I lived. Everything was cool. Okay, so.
Oh, yes.
So Pycelle, Renly, and the Queen are in there. And Eddard is moving pretty slow because he's medicated as well, let's remember. He's in bed basically having a crazy-ass dream, and boom, 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 Lord Eddard, you're summoned to see the king. And, he gets there and the king is basically dying. So the king still wore his boots under the blanket. He noted that, and he noted that his doublet was slashed and discarded, crusted with blood upon the floor, and the room smelled like smoke, blood, and death. Ned, Robert whispers. Come closer. He's like, Ned, come here. And he was like, it was my own fault. Too much wine missed my thrust. And then Ned kind of gets angry. He's like, where the fuck was Barristan? Where was Renly? And then Renly's like, he commanded us to step aside. And he holds up for that. Ned lifts the blanket and looks at the wound, and he sees they basically, sewed it up lightly or whatever, but that's it, And then Renly, when he's recalling it later, he's talking about how Robert's guts and shit was spilling out, and he's still killing this fucking boar. Yeah.
Ew,
so
that's so gross.
I know.
That is so gross.
So, Ned lifts the blanket, and then Pycelle's like, look, it took him 2 days to get here. By the time he got here, the rot had set in. It was morbid. It was infected. And the king says, and this, and all this that I've just went over, it happens in the show as well. He says, it stinks. And I can smell it, it smells of death. And the king tells Ned how he killed the boar and wants it to be his funeral feast. And then he's like, now leave us, the lot of you, the king. And then Cersei's like, Robert, my sweet, but she's still freaking out, thinking people fixing to tell on her.
Yes.
And, they are not. Like, he's not fixing to do that. So she leaves. And he's like, I said
only
leave.
because she was bossed to. Like, I mean, Robert said, get out.
And this is an interesting line that's in here. It says, Cersei gathered her skirts and her dignity and left. And I feel for her because, I mean, you just get the sense that he treats her like that all the time. Like, there's no real partnership there. You know what I mean? I mean, like, being his queen must have been a pretty empty title, in my opinion, for her. Pascal tries to administer milk of the poppy, but Robert knocks it out of his hand and says, I'll be asleep soon enough. I don't need anything to help me out, basically saying, I know I'm dying. Let me get this last bit in. Ned is mad at Robert, and Ned says, your stubbornness got you killed being careless.
Yeah, and that you're drunk.
Basically. And then notice, like, more than that, Ned knows he's in danger at this point. I mean, his one friend, his one safety net is dying, and he knows he's mortally wounded. I mean, he does say a few times in here that, maybe he's not, and he doesn't want to believe that, but that's just the truth of it. And Cersei definitely, I think, was scared when she got ordered to leave that room. And then Robert, who knew he needed to make Ned the regent, I mean, he didn't want to be drugged. And also, I believe he was worried about taking any of Pascal's remedies. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah, it's too bad, though, that at that moment, instead of just trusting Ned, he didn't, like, call in Joffrey. Like, hey, he's going to be the, the guy in charge, whatever you call it, the regent, until you come of age. Because then that would have been the witness. Joffrey would have known. I mean, like, to actually have, like, this is a pretty slick trick Ned pulls here.
And, I have to get into my history here, but that is true and most of the times it does happen back when there were kings and stuff like this. There would be a fight over who would end up being the regent. It came down to a fight, brother against brother, between Thomas Seymour and the other Seymour. The other Seymour even had Thomas Seymour killed. And they were the uncles of Edward the sixth.
Oh yeah, no,
the sixth, not
brothers.
The son, the
brothers meant nothing, man. It was cutthroat. That was horrible.
Yeah, so things like that, to be the regent to a small child. I mean, ideally, if you had been a queen and the people loved you, usually the queen got it. I mean, even Henry the 14th, his mother had his regency. She certainly did. Margaret of Austria, I think. Don't quote me on that one. All right, now where are we at here? Oh, I'm sorry, y'all. My mom's in Alaska. Calls him over. My mom just texted me, you okay? In Alaska, call tomorrow.
Aw.
Yeah.
I want to go to Alaska.
She is there. Okay. So he makes Ned the regent, leaving.
I can't see my chat right, but hi guys. Sorry. Keep going, Jen. Sorry.
Leaving. He tells him my true-born son Joffrey, but we all know he doesn't write that. He doesn't write that in the book. And Ned wants to tell him, but he doesn't want to die conflicted. So he just leaves it alone. Now, write it and I will sign it if you have the words. That's Robert and Ned. Robert, the realm needs you. You must not die. Robert, you are always such a bad liar, he says. He was a bad king, but leaving you in charge is right. He scribbles his name. You'll hate it worse than I did. Serve the poor at the funeral feast. Apple in its mouth, skin crisp. Eat the bastard. Don't. I don't care if you choke on him. Promise me, Ned. So again,
Promise me,
that,
Ned. Again.
No. So again with that, he's like, I promise, I promise.
Yeah, but like, said, do you think that like he was perhaps having a little prophetic dream there? And he related it to Lyanna's "Promise Me, Ned," but could it have been? Wait, now I can't hear you again.
Well, I'm not talking.
Oh, I thought you were. So, anyways, maybe was that
I mean, I certainly thought, you know, that the two times that he thinks of that, it's when he makes a promise to Robert and it's when he makes the promise to Lyanna. So it makes me wonder, and I just wondered this today after this reread, is the promise not over now? Because both of the people that the promise was involved to or kept to be kept from or whatever, every one of them are dead now. And that's what we made. That's the reason I thought maybe it kept popping up like that today when I was rereading, is because he associates it with both of them, obviously, but then now there's nothing to keep. What do you think about that? Do you see what I'm saying? Do you chat? Do you see where I'm going with that?
Isn't what is the saying about that? Like dead men. Is it what dead men don't tell lies or dead men don't tell
dead
secrets?
Men tell no tales, I think.
Oh, yes. Okay. All right, fine. I totally
that
butchered
might also be from Pirates of the Caribbean. I mean, forgive me.
But it's just like, you know, it's just two people on their deathbed. Promise me, Ned. That's what a drag, man. Poor Nettie. Poor Nettie. I know, a lot of Ned hate. How many? Okay, wait. All right, chat. How many of y'all in here just hate Ned? Just are big Ned haters. Like, oh, he's so bad. Me. I don't know. Because I personally thought he was like the greatest, and I was surprised when I found out all the Ned hate. I wasn't as surprised with all the Catelyn hate, but then...
Well, let me go to the chat real quick because Bubba Husky's got some Cersei hate, and I'm not even really sure how to fill in the blank.
I'm so surprised.
I'm not sure how to even fill in the blank because it can be filled in with so many words. But it says people would be nicer to Cersei if she wasn't so blank.
Okay, I'm curious, Bubba. When she was doing because of course I did not, and that's the beauty of George R. Martin. I didn't think it was possible for me to feel sorry for Cersei. It was just like, but when that Septa
Unella.
What is her name?
Septa Unella.
Yes, I hate that. So when she smacked her with that ladle, it was like, oh, and then when she like made her like drink that water off the floor, I was like, oh my God. And like my heart like was going out to Cersei. And then that whole walk of shame crap. Wow. I didn't think it was possible. I was just like, no, she's like so evil. I will never feel bad for her. And
that's the beauty of this. That's the beauty of this is you can really feel something for someone that you loathe.
So, was she a character that you forever hated, or did your heart go out to her? And like even Robert, even at this point with Robert,
right?
Because he was one that like I really couldn't stand, but like rereading this, it was like.
I've always liked Cersei. I get Cersei. I understand what she's doing and why what motivates her, I think, you know, but she's not.
It's not that I don't get her. It's not that I can't empathize with her plight, but her like dismissiveness of the poor and just, you know, not giving a shit about that kind of stuff. Like that's what made me hate her, not
Well, the reason why I love her is because exactly because of that, because she really is who she is. You know,
really, like you. Oh wow!
I think at the beginning of the season it was a little bit different, but then as the seasons progressed, and she just kind of like when she let the servant walk in on her and Jamie, you know, whereas that would have been a big thing once. She went from a person who cared what people thought about outward appearances of her to somebody who didn't give a F. And I dig that. So I like that crazy. So
well, okay.
But anyway, let's go back to the chapter. Where were we? Okay, the girl. The Daenerys, let her live if you can. Help my son. I will. Renly and Grandmaster Pycelle stood witness. Then he took something for the pain. I will give Lyanna your love, Ned. Take care of my children for me. At first he wanted to say no, but then he thought of his real children, Bara, Gendry, Maya, and said, I shall guard your children as if they were my own. He leaves after talking to Pycelle and Renly and comforts Varys and Selmy. Renly calls to him asking if he got the regency and offering to assist in a coup d'etat. Ned declines and sends for Littlefinger. Littlefinger promises him the city guard and basically all the families of Renly, Bronjon, Lady Tanda, Sir Loras, Sir Balin Swan, the Redwine twins, and himself, personal guards. And we all know that he did not keep his word. And he says to Ned that he wears his honor like armor. And I thought to myself, you know, if Ned wears his honor like a suit of armor, then he does exactly what Tyrion's advice was to Jon to do, except he's wearing it and not with a bad trait, but one of his good traits. So it makes it opposite. Do you see what I'm saying with that?
No, explain that again.
Littlefinger said to him when he was promising him, you know, the big families of the court support as well as the gold cloaks. He was like, Lord Stark, I think he says that's your weakness. You wear your honor like armor. And remember, Tyrion said to Jon, some of the first advice he ever gave him was to wear bastard as your armor, and then nobody can ever use that against you to hurt you. So we get the same kind of things. It's not given as a compliment at all. And we get the same kind of thing said, but it's in exact opposites because honor is actually a good trait where there's nothing wrong with being a bastard. And we know that, but in this society, you're automatically a peg down than even somebody who's born on the wrong, then even somebody who is maybe poorer than you, but from a good family who was born to a married couple. We just know that's how this world works. Okay, there we go. I did the overview. Okay, what do you guys want to go over in the chat?
Well, I want to say, well, with Robert, it did it was, I appreciated his come to Jesus moment on his deathbed. And I thought it was pretty touching that, like, you know, before, remember, he was cursing Ned out just because Ned was Ned, but like then coming back, and
Ned got accused of signing Robert's death certificate by Varys when he basically gave the queen her warning, but in leaving him regent and not just, kind of dismissing him and giving him leave to go back to Winterfell after he swore fealty. He could have said something like that. He signed Ned's death certificate. What do you think about that?
Who? Renly?
No, Robert. Robert, by making Ned the regent, when that would actually put him in a place of he would be very sought after like he was. till he explained he was not going to do that and try to rule through the regency, which is basically what Renly and Littlefinger wanted him to do.
I know, but like I said, if he would have, okay, but, well, there was that whole honor thing, and he had to, like, oh, Stannis is the rightful heir. Like I said, if he would have just, see, that, therein lies, I believe, Robert's mistake, not bringing his, whom he believed his son, like calling Ned out, because Ned couldn't break his bestie's heart and say, hey, sorry, the boy that you want me to fix in 4 years so he'll be a good king, good luck with that, because you've been a shit father, and your wife, whom you've loathed your whole marriage, has totally got her claws in him. So what do you think I'm going to be able to do in 4 years, right? Come on. Okay, but that's nice. Thanks for having a lot of faith in me, buddy. But bring your son in here and tell him, because, like, just telling me, like, I mean, what was one of the last conversations he had with Ned? Like, I'm surrounded by Lannisters. They're everywhere. It's all my pages are Lannisters. My Kingsguard are Lannisters. My council, Lannisters.
My
like
squires,
everything.
yeah.
I mean, everywhere around me. He's like, so I need somebody on my side. I need you. And I don't give a damn if you hate it. I don't care. You know what? John Aaron was there for me, and I could trust him, and now I need you. So so Ned's stepping out of it. Well, like I said, okay, it woulda, coulda, shoulda, but yeah.
You're right. It's not the story. So
he should have brought Joffrey in on it. And also because Joffrey's a spoiled brat. He knew he was a spoiled brat. Like, just because a piece of paper said, okay, even though Ned didn't write that in the piece of paper, but said that, oh, by the way, now you have to listen.
His coup d'etat or whatever. They didn't suggest,
It's just like,
they didn't suggest all that about exposing the Lannisters, because that would mean war against the Lannisters. They meant,
right,
rule through Joffrey till you find a way to get rid of, till we, basically at the very least.
Robert,
I think Littlefinger even said it.
Robert
Renly
even said about war. He was thinking about, I just want you to straighten him out, because I know he's a beast. So please just fix him in 4 years till he becomes king, and intermarry all of our family. Marry my daughter to your son, marry your other daughter to,
I think people even thought, I think one of his advice from Littlefinger was, rule through him, marry your youngest daughter to Tommen, marry your heir Robb to Marcella. Lock it up so tight, that.
And that was
break it asunder. Basically, that was his advice.
And I think that was also, truthfully, I think Ned was being a smidge naive and selfish, because he just wanted to go back to Winterfell. He knew, all right, rightful heir or not, he knew Stannis was he wasn't going to keep him as hand. He wanted to go back to Winterfell, and you know what? Like, what's your proof here? Like,
true enough.
I mean, the history of
it was pretty much going to have to go down like it did, like one person kind of getting the army together before the other, and then I guess overtaking the first one. And I apologize so much, y'all. Been doing my metformin religiously lately, and it makes me have to go to the restroom. I'm so sorry, Moni. I'm so sorry. I'll be so fast.
Oh wow. Okay. Well, look at me holding this down all by my own self as I drop it. Okay, it's all good. Wait, I can't hear you now. So you muted yourself, and now I'm talking. So So I don't know, guys, what do you think? I'm looking at the chat now, and I know it's delayed, so that's always so tricky for me. I'm practicing though. I'm gonna get better. So what did you guys think? You think, Bubba, honestly, you think that Stannis would have kept Ned's hand? No way. No way. Because I dropped you. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to vertigo you, dog. I wish I had like an empire chair like you do. Like, that's pretty sweet. Empire, the emperor. Excuse me. So what? Like, so you guys are all like big fans of Robert, or loved him all along, and like, what'd you think about this scene where he kicked the bucket kicked the rabbit kicked the bucket. I just wonder, like, what it was. It kind of it's like maybe if he just could have been just a little more of this Robert on his deathbed as king, maybe he would have been a better king. I do have a Chewy calendar. Yes, I do. I love Star Wars.
I know you do. I almost wore a Star Wars shirt just like in honor of you tonight. And it also kind of makes me look thin because it's white and goes in and it's black on the sides, but for whatever reason. And it's the old school one with Princess Leia in the white dress too.
I love me some Princess Leia.
I did too growing up. Oh my goodness.
Because I am the white princess.
Oh gosh.
I wish she could have changed sooner. I know, to get gorged, man. Can you imagine? And I remember, okay, your personal story. When I lived in New Mexico for a while and went to school, it was like go to class, go to the mountains, go to class, go to the mountains. Guess what I did? So, but I would often go there, and my cousin who wasn't too keen on going to the mountains, so I'd go by myself, right? And so they'd always be like, oh, well, watch out for the javelinas, right? And it was just like, oh, so I'd joke about it. I know there are javelinas. Javelinas are wild boar up in the mountains, but of course I never ever saw any up there. And it's the Black Range. I lived in Silver City, and the Black Range is right there. It's 5,500 above sea level. And so I was like, ooh, yes, the mist. It was almost like I was giving them the Grumpkins and whatever. I was like, ooh, yes, the magical javelinas that, like, I would just tease that they didn't exist. But I guess if you maybe ran across a mama with her little piglets, I guess they can be pretty ruthless. And what is it about like those Razorbacks tusks? I think, like, are they extra poison or something? I'm not quite sure, but anyways, I don't know, never saw one.
It's like Arkansas, the football teams, like they're the Arkansas Razorbacks.
Yes. Well, in New Mexico, they call them the wild ones up the mountains are javelinas, but I never saw any in real life. So
we have a lot of wild pigs and boars, I guess, in Mississippi. But when people talking about going to hunt them and stuff, and then, you dig a pit, you cook it in the ground and all that, done all that. Oh. You hunt it on horseback. And
okay, wait.
Okay, go ahead.
I have a most excellent childhood story about this too. When I was little, but I remember it. My dad and all his buddies, they are gonna do this pig roast, right? Well, so they made like this super pit, right? you know, and you're gonna cook it overnight. And so like a
Right.
huge party, right?
And they do that in Hawaii too.
Right. So, anyways, of course, these guys are party Vikings, and just they all are tradesmen. They do their different thing or whatever. So they make this, and so the next day when it's time for the unveiling of the most excellent pig roast, it was it was like a big charcoal. They made like the super oven, and so they had to go out and get hot dogs for everybody at the party because there was no pig. It was just charcoal. So yeah. And I said if I ever got married, that's what I would want, is a big old pig roast. My dad was always saying, I'll get you a ladder, like to elope. And it's like, Dad, we live in a ranch. What are you talking about? But anyways, so yeah, that was like I remember that. And I was young. I was really little, really, really little, like 3, 4 years old. And I remember that party, but I didn't necessarily remember the charcoal pig, but here's to good eating.
Pig is good. Pig is good. Hey, Russell went up to my work a couple days ago, and Miss Val that I work with said, "What y'all having for dinner?" And he said pork chops, and she goes, "Y'all eat pork a lot." No, she goes, "Y'all eat pork a lot."
You know what? Okay, Brady Bunch.
I didn't realize.
Pork chops and apple sauce. Does anyone remember that? Pork chops and apple sauce, where Peter Brady did that. It was on after school.
Okay, so anything else about the chapter though? I know we get so far off, so we can get so far off topic.
So anyways, like it did endear me a little bit better to Robert. I wish he could have been like this more during his reign.
He was clinically depressed, y'all. I mean, there was several things wrong with Robert.
Really? I think he was just a party Viking.
I don't think so. I mean, because I just don't think
he was
so.
A killing machine, and that was what he was good at. And he was a party Viking.
I think he became depressed.
On what? Like the dream that like really wasn't? Because like that whole like him and Liana thing was his fantasy. It wasn't hers.
I mean, absolutely. I think he became depressed. I also think like just how, you know, we kind of get that war story between him and Barristan in the show about they never tell you they shit themselves or who was your first kill, you know, and they talk about it. And to me, Robert kind of acts, at least in the show, like, you know, it kind of bothers him. So he could have, not only because of the Liana thing, but then also just had some PTSD from war and stuff like that. And maybe drank so much because he did have a bit of depression there.
Oh, you think? Really? I don't think he. I don't think he was.
I mean, I think at the very least he used alcohol, medication.
I think that's when he felt alive, when he was killing, and that's how he escaped his problems, because. What was it? What was the antecedent right before this hunt? And then he took off. What was it? I can't remember. Help me.
Oh shit! Him and Cersei getting in that fight. Yeah. Him and Cersei getting in that fight.
Where he whacked her, sure, but what brought that on? I can't. Like, come on! When I'm having like.
Remember, it was all when Ned got stabbed in the back of the leg. So he was threatening on quitting, and then Catelyn had Tyrion. I mean, basically, he had his Hans family and his wife's family at war, and he was, you know, I guess trying to navigate a little bit too swiftly.
It's good to be king, to be able to run away, man. I'd like to run away sometimes.
Okay, Dog Sidious says he was pissed when the wine was empty. He's an alcoholic.
Well, for sure. No doubt, Dog. I concur with that. But it was extra strong wine. We find out that later. Or is that just in the show and we presume that in the books? I can't really recall.
Wait, what do they say at some time that they've got the best Dornish? Because I thought they implied in the show that there might have even been milk of the poppy put into the wineskin that the king was drinking from.
Well, I don't doubt that. It was definitely implied that it was super strong wine, like maybe even like close to like brandy type, just your extra
like port
proof.
Yeah.
Sure.
Like
and
port.
and it was like, and kept it coming. Oh,
yeah.
See, there's my low battery mode because I like a dumbass. I was talking about it. Shit.
What happened?
Nothing. I'm stupid. Hold on.
No, you're real smart. He grew up. Okay, Amanda Duncan says he grew up fast.
So anyways,
he lost his parents young because of the Targaryens.
Robert a little better. But
I think so too. And Amanda Duncan says,
and I can't imagine getting like gutted like that. You know what that reminds me of is a bullfight. Does anybody ever seen a bullfight?
Oh yeah, that sounds. I hate that. I hate when they kill the bull.
Would you want to?
I hate when the swords are just stabbing out of it. I can't watch that. But Amanda Duncan, I think, agrees with what you're trying to say, and she says in the chat, he grew up fast. He lost his parents young because of the Targaryens. When the tourney where Lyanna was admired by the prince, that didn't help his feelings towards the Targaryens. And Bubba Husky says fortified wine.
Fortified wine,
says Ripple. Says Ripple. I'm not sure what that means. Does that mean you're saying it was like Mad Dog?
I know. I don't think so. No, it was. He's got like the brandy.
Amanda Duncan continues on, and he married a woman who was constantly making him appoint her family to positions, undermining him. Yes, and one of her tactics was, for sure, did you notice this? One of Cersei's tactics in the books and on the show is when Robert doesn't give her way, she emasculates him in front of people.
I thought it was actually devilishly, like, actually, it wasn't devilishly, like, I have a word for it. It's saccharine sweet. When she was like, "Oh my lord, I don't want to leave your side." It was just like
a backhanded compliment.
Just too like,
sweet.
Saccharine, too sweet and totally fake.
That's a good adjective. I like that.
Yes. Feel free to use it. It's very good. It's very good. We all know saccharine types. So, you know what fortified wine reminds me of, Bubba? I don't know how many you guys are familiar with the air.
You kind of broke up a little bit.
We're off the air.
No, we're not.
Well, it says we are on mine.
That's weird. Did you accidentally hang up?
I might have. Anyways, it reminds me of in Ren and Stimpy with Cinnamon Toast Man or whatever, with fortified with vitamins and iron, and he takes off. I don't know why it says off the air.
Okay. That may be an old screenshot or whatever. I don't know enough about it to tell you.
I know. I don't know either. That's right.
That's what Chrissy of Old Stones is saying.
Chrissy of Old Stones.
Oh, no. I think she was just saying she could see us. Okay. We paused, but all is good now. Okay. Anything else about this chapter that anybody wants to bring up or...
And I also thought it was very that Peter Baelish also played his hand that they totally were eavesdropping on the whole thing.
Right.
Like, that was curious. And what was the one other thing I wanted to say? A very good overview, by the way. Thank you for taking excellent notes.
Thank you very much. I listened to it and I got the book out on top of it. I wanted to be prepared because I knew you had a long day at work.
Aww.
But I knew that you always have plenty to say because you know your chapters.
You rock the Casbah.
Thank you. You
and
do too.
rock on.
Rock the Casbah.
Hey, yeah, where's my Russell? I didn't even get to do his dance.
And he went to bed so early, you guys. He is. I have to admit it. I'm very liberal, but Russell is very conservative, and he watches one of these weird shows one Thursday night. So he went back he was in the bed by 7 o'clock, so he could watch his weird conservative Fox television. I have to pay extra to get that.
Hokey smokes. I have to crash out super early. Yesterday our school was closed. We were supposed to be there setting up even yesterday, and so we had to go to a different school to help the secretaries like pack welcome back to school folders. And it was just so stressful because it's like, okay, we didn't pass our schools. The two schools that were under construction, okay, talk about your, double CK construction company. Neither school passed inspection. Like, we weren't even allowed in the buildings and didn't know if we were going to be allowed in the buildings today. And it's like, oh my God. I was like, I'm not going in over Labor Day weekend. But then I was like, well, I'm sucker, man. For me, it is about the kids. And even though I think whenever you hear anybody say that anybody who's got money and power, it's such a load of crap. And I'm talking about within the bureaucracy, let alone politics. But anyways, if you guys have any questions or comments or.
Nancy T says, great book club. Thank you, ladies. David
says, thank you, Nancy.
Yes, thank you very much. It says, damn, cheers, Jen and Moni. Great stream.
And thank you, Lamar and Amanda Duncan.
Said great stream.
Go ahead. I tried to thank y'all, everybody I could for stopping in last time. Personally, but I don't have a way invite.
Stacy 27 says, I'm confused. I thought you guys did the Eddard chapter last week. Sorry, I'm super late. I know. I had already made the link and I started freaking out, but it's actually an Eddard chapter on top of an Eddard chapter. So Eddard and 12 and Eddard 13
kinky
are back to back.
Haha, even kinkier.
All right, everybody.
I know, where's Bubba? He can't stop me.
We've got Daenerys next week, if I'm not mistaken. Now, don't quote me on the number right this minute, but I'll get the link up within a decent time for you guys to know that.
Is this where she eats the heart?
I think it is, actually. So.
I think it is, too. Do you want to know what that heart was made out of on the show?
Yeah, but Bubba Husky says, yes, there's 2 Eddard chapters in a row. That's, I believe that's chapter 45 and 46 in the books.
Okay, come on. It was my trivia question.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
So, seriously, what was it? Does anybody know? I do.
I don't know.
What was the heart made out of that Daenerys had to eat? Ow.
Wait, I read this.
Haha, but I know it. It wasn't cheesecake, dog.
It was chicken.
No.
It was chicken.
It was, Amanda. Ding, 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 ding. A round of applause. It was gummy bear.
Stacy 27 got it right after, too.
Yes, and well done,
Very good.
Okay,
I remember
even,
like watching the whole thing about that. Oh my gosh! You know why you couldn't see yourself at one time? Because are you being serious, Bubba Husky?
I'm in it. Oh yes, because no, he's my personal
Oh, okay.
mod. But I'm sorry.
Okay.
That was double kinky. You can't take it back.
Next week is Daenerys, and like Moni said, it's when she eats the heart. And wait, hold on. Actually, it might be John next week.
Ooh.
Whoa.
I honestly don't know.
I do it right
but
here.
Now I have. Cherie don't like it.
It's a John chapter next week.
John. All right. Hey, I saw my man do the rustle.
He sure did. Just walk in here to get something to drink. Y'all caught a little.
Don't you think? Don't you think I miss?
That was him. All right, everybody. This week is a John chapter. Don't quote me on the number, but I'll get the link up and everything in time. Everybody, thanks so much for popping by.
Okay, wait. I just have to say, does anybody else watch Ren and Stimpy? Because I feel like saying, "Oh, I don't want to go." Like that whole at the end of the show where he does it. Oh my gosh.
I like that too.
All
right, you guys. We'll see y'all next week, 8 o'clock. And we've been getting over earlier lately. But I thought that helps everybody. This is just a really busy time of year with everybody, isn't it?
I know it.
See y'all.
Wait, so did we say hello to everybody? Did we give a shout out?
I think so, but you can do it again.
Well, I can try my bestest.
Okay.
All right. So thank you, Stacy.
That's all anybody can ask is for you to try your bestest.
For coming. My bestest in the Westest, but I'm not in the West. I'm a Yankee. And you know what? Am I like the only Yankee in this community? I think I might be. I'm the only Yankee redhead with curls, naturally curly red hair.
I mean, it depends on what you consider Southern, I guess, too.
I consider like north of Canada as Yankee as you get. So, all right. So, Amanda Duncan, thank you for coming. And Dog Sidious, thank you. And Bubba Husky, thank you. And nice try for trying to put me in a timeout, but never. And I saw LMR in here earlier, and
yes, it was nice of her to come by.
Appreciate you stopping in.
I do too.
And of course, my beautiful Chrissy of Old Stones and David. And I know I won't be able to scroll up too high, so I'm going. Oh, Nancy T, I believe, was here.
Absolutely, she was here.
And I didn't actually write it down because I didn't know that I was going to do that. But when I watched last time, I was like, nope. And if I go back and Eduardo, yay, hello. And Mega Super Lionheart, thank you for stopping back again. I appreciate it very much. It's good to see you. Welcome, welcome. And let's see here. And Lady Wolverton, it's a pleasure. I'm so glad you came to the chat.
Thank you.
Well, it's better than me because I don't think.
And I got sleepy after I ate dinner. Okay, I just want to say, and I also want to say, y'all, a fried chicken. But
I'm exciting, and I woke.
You are exciting. No, you are exciting. But what I'm saying is, I didn't have to work today. So, I started getting ready for the chat about 3 or so and was able to.
What is this like?
But I fried chicken, which is kind of a procedure. I don't want to call it just cooking something. Frying chicken can be a procedure because it takes several bowls. But we had delicious little fried chicken and a nice little salad. And I also made whoopie pies.
Whoopie? Kinky.
All right. Did you shout everybody out?
Wait, so else who did I miss?
Friends? I think you got everyone.
I don't know. No. There's Septa Shayna. Anyways, what I was gonna just ask y'all.
Septa Shayna Sapphires.
So if I noticed something like that you guys asked a question or made a comment if going back. Do you want me to answer back in the comments, or like would that be too repetitious? Just give me a at the end of this right now. Yes, answer me back, or no, that would be like way late and we don't read that crap. I don't know. Let me know. So just tell me. I'm just glad to see you. It's excellent, and of course it's so fun talking Game of Thrones with my gal, with one of my besties.
And we are gonna have to talk. Definitely when the show comes on, we'll have to talk. We'll have to suspend book club for a few weeks while we do recap the show, because we have to do that. But anyway, everybody, we'll see y'all next Thursday. It's a John chapter.
Okay.
Don't quote me on the number,
which
but
one?
I'll get it up, and I'll try to get it up earlier than I did this week. Okay.
Are you tricking me?